pocket and like I don't care what I'm doing. And so I'd go out with Taylor and Walla and I'd paint, and that was my therapy. Going out on billboards with them at night, I wouldn't even paint it. I'd just sit on it with them and just look over and like this escape of like being alone and secluded from everybody, the city, the yelling, the screaming. We'd be at a wall for hours, bro. We just have beers, smoke some weed, paint, and just talk about fucking nothing and laugh and paint and talk about what we want to do and letters, and you'd be lost. And I was like, you know what, dude, this is it. I love it. I love it. I became a historian. You know, I have a photographic memory, so.
Is your first brotherhood?
My first brotherhood, yeah, bonding, accepted, skateboarding and fucking this. And you know, I never had that before. And so the great part was Taylor, as my cousin, he looked out after me and he was like, yo, Bobby, you know, I'm gonna take you. And him and John were popping off at the time. And John accepted me as well, so we go paint. And I had this fear, dude, at the time, like, you know, like I still do, like insecure, like, fuck this. Like, I knew my shit was whack. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking disappoint, you know? And like, till to this day.
Like, you can sit on the table.
Like, I don't want to disappoint. So, it was like one of those things where we go out and paint, and I would paint like far away from them, and they'd be like, what are you doing, dude? Like, why? And I'm like, you know what, dude? Like, I'm not there yet, you know? Like, I appreciate what you guys are doing. Like, I appreciate you taking me out, but like, you know, I don't want to embarrass you guys. I don't want to embarrass myself. You know, when it's time for me, it'll be time. You know, like in my mind, I had that shit. And so I was raised just like in my mind, like, no matter how long it takes, I'd rather do it the right way instead of do it like the toy way. And like, because at the time, there was so much drama in the community and so many guys doing things and having other people write their names and copying it and all this drama to be popular and famous. Like, I saw none of that. For me, I just saw, I want to get good at this, you know? I want to get good at this. I love it.
Was that your thing though? You wanna like you wanted to learn it, like be just good?
Like, it was my passion and I knew I couldn't stop.
Not just doing, but like you were like, oh, I want to do this?
Yeah, instantly. I was like, I don't know where it's gonna take me, but I was like, I'm gonna take this somewhere. And all those years painting, meeting new people, OGs, being in bad situations, but always being around the right guys. Like our crew, I'm lucky, because a lot of crews, it's a lot of bullshit. You'll have OGs and like, you know, they just want to have fun and continue their heyday. They don't teach you anything. Like with Taylor, he taught me respect. He taught me, you know, all the rules. He taught me just being humble and like, even to this day, walking into a spot, like no matter who he is and how much he's accomplished, he always says hello to everybody, like breaks that ice, you know, like it's never like that bad attitude walking in, like, oh, I own this spot, or like, you know, you never know what's going in through people's minds.
But like that's like a fucking device for most people. Like I find myself doing it all the time too, where it's just like, it's a defense mechanism, and you're not trying to be an asshole or rude. It's just like you just don't know these people sometimes. You're just scared, you know. It's fear. It's fear.
Completely.
It's all fear because you're just like, oh, but it's like some people interpret it as, oh, you fucking bitch, you know?
And that's what most of the time my body was going through, fear going to these things. You know, that was a lot of the rush and a lot of the reason too, where you're kind of like, whoa, this is fucking something new. And he showed me how to alleviate that type of stress with like going into spaces and him being the white guy, and like normally they don't see graffiti writers as being white, like just to the average person, like people just have stereotypes. And he was just righteous, dude. Like, he would fight on a drop of a dime, not looking for fights, but like to protect him and his, like he would always stand up. And like, so my goal was, you know what? I want to get good. I want to get good. I love this community. And all we were told, dude, was graffiti, you're not going to end up nowhere. That was, I think, the main thing that helped me in life. Was like hearing that over and over and over, seeing everybody go to jail, dying, and everyone saying, listen, graffiti, you're gonna end up fucking with nothing. You're gonna paint, you're gonna get older, you're gonna waste time, money, end up in jail a couple times, and then what's the payoff? You know, so I always had that in my mind, and I think that's what kind of manifested what's happening today. Was I'm gonna be that change for that. I'm gonna be that conduit where, you know what, my boys and my friends, this lifestyle is not gonna go for granted. You know, it's not gonna go to waste. Because I was like, these guys are doing incredible things, putting lives on the line, climbing, we're wasting time, energy, money, doing dangerous things out there. And like, these guys were doing crazy things. Like, I'm a fucking grain of sand next to these guys. And they believed in me. So back to where we paint, they'd be like, Bobby, just paint with us. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I have booklets, Richie, from 2003, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 black books full. I tell people, I'm like, we'll get lost. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It might take weeks. It might take a year. But like in those books, drawing for years, one R developed to another R, developed to another R, developed to another R. The throw-ups, the color steves, the outlines, And like, we started going painting. And we'd go around and we paint with the homie and the crew. And we go and, we'd go eat pizza and shit afterwards, and we calling us the Pizzaboyzzz, and like we made our nicknames, Pizzaboyzzz, and it just became funny shit. Like, we go out after you paint, you go eat. So one day, I'm sitting at home. I'm like, what am I gonna do? I was doing stickers at the time, I was painting graph, but also I figured out how to get 228 stickers from the post office. My crewmate taught me you can order them online. 750 at a time, low key. So we'd order them. So I started doing the pizza slabs. And I put them up everywhere. I did so many, I would do, like on the old poster, you'd see like 50 of them. And I would do like ones with hands, ones just slices, ones with eyes. And it just developed over time, just this style. And I put them up places. People eventually started messaging like, hey, can we have some? Can we have some? Can we have some? And I'd mail them out. And I didn't have money, dude. I was like, fuck. Then it hit me. I was like, people are really digging the stuff we're doing. So I got the graph crew together. This is how it started, in my garage. It's me, Jesser, AIDS, Vulgar, Script, Besk, I forget who else. So this is the day it started. I'd gone to Daiso, I'd made stickers, I'd bought 2 scribes. I saved my money, and I bought 2 scribes for $20. And I bought this mask, this geisha mask from Daiso, and I had replicated all the Gucci Mane tattoos. I did Gucci Mane fucking tattoo on him. I put a sticker pack together, and I put it in like a emergency pack. Like a writer's emergency pack. Gloves, tips.
That's probably around the time that you started sending me stuff, and I would just, not expecting shit.
This is when it was Bobby Dangerously still.
I think I got one of the experiences where it's just a plastic bag with a surgical mask and like all this graffiti shit. I was like, this fool think I do graffiti or what?
Yeah,
I was super confused, like what the fuck?
So it's never for the graffiti, it was just if it was like a secret wink to those in the industry community that did do it, they would know right away. Like, because every time we painted, we never had fucking gloves or a mask. So I was like, this will be fun novelty. And then a mask, obviously you wouldn't wear it, but it was like, hey, conceal your face, hand slap stickers, blanks, tips for you to paint with. And so I showed the crew. I'm in the garage. That's where I slept at the time, in my parents' garage. And we had the futon and everyone's chilling. And so I'm showing everybody. And a few of the guys are like, yo, this is cool. And I explained to them, I was like, listen. I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to start a front for us. I was like, because everybody at the time, it was coming off of Flickr. Instagram was barely breaking out. I was like, we could sell our stuff under a front. I was like, Jesse, Besk, AIDS. So the first thing we ever put on the page was a canvas by Jesser, Besk, and AIDS. And they were down, but this is the crazy part. I handed it to Script, my cousin. He grabbed, he's like, let me see that shit. He looked at it with disgust in his face. Threw it across the fucking room against the wall. I'll never forget this day, and I'll never forget everyone's face. He was like, what the fuck is this shit? He's like, you fucking kidding me? He's like, fuck this. He's like, this is crazy. He's like, you're fucking nuts. Everyone was silent. Everyone's looking at me for my reaction. And I was like, yo, man, I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, I'm not, trying to step on anyone's toes. I was like, this is just something I want to share, help us out. I was like, because in graffiti, I was like, you're always doing the paint, the artwork. I was like, no one ever does the business side. I was like, in my head is, we're going to be stuck like this forever. No one's ever going to help us. I was like, I will take this. And the deal was, I would take it for the first year. I got the big cartel. I was like, I'll start the big cartel. I'd given them the password, and I was like, we will put our work up. I was like, I'll sell it. I was like, we'll get the money. I was like, we'll split it amongst us, and it became a cult thing, underground.
Who were the core people?
It was me, Jesser, Well, AIDS, Besk, Vulgar, Ha. Script was out. He was like, fuck this, fuck you, fuck this shit. He wasn't down with it at first. Over years, he came to terms with it. He came around, but that's because I never got angry with him, you know? I never got upset. I was disappointed. I always, from that day, no matter what, before that, after that, I always wrote script on every slap, no matter what. Every time we painted, we still painted after that. You know, we hung out, doesn't matter. We kicked it, but he was just not into it. He was doing tattoos. I got him a job tattooing. It was this whole thing where he bought his own tattoo gun, and he wanted to do it, and he tattooed himself. So I believed in it. I was like, we need to make something of ourselves. We went to Venice. I walked with him. We walked to 10 shops. Everyone laughed at us, and I was like, pretending to be his manager, like, yo, you know, he's got this, and he's like, I did this myself. I was like, yo, this is him. Last shop, believed. And he tattooed there on the boardwalk for years after that, and like, you know, he went through his struggles, and like, he messaged me recently, loves me, all this shit, fucking proud of me, this and that. And everything came around, but it all started, you know, with the unity and my love for just that companionship and going through the struggle with people that were going through the same thing. But with me, it wasn't money. It wasn't business. It wasn't.
No, you were cultivating something.
It was also. I'd tell people, I'm like, if I didn't have this, I would go back to what I did always, which was go to the streets, paint, take photos. I enjoyed seeing who was killing it. Like, I enjoyed being on Flickr and being like, oh, Augur, not fucking, these guys are doing this. TLG came out, Tastes Like Gold, the billboards. When Revoke and fucking Retina were doing their color MSK pieces with Rhyme. And like all these things, you know, and I was just like, I'm in love with it. There's so many different aspects. The taggers, the fucking bombers, the throw-up guys, the guys who piece, you know, and then to see these guys, as we're growing up, graduate to doing films, movies, and then you see, like, if you do it the right way, the smart way, your efforts and your fucking sacrifice won't go to waste, you know? And so it became this thing where I believed so much that if we were able to do this collaborative thing where we could keep it going and going and going and going, I know that without money, sometime down the line, the end of the tunnel, there's light coming down it. I believed in it from the skate days. I believed in it because after high school.
Did you know?
No, none.
That you were gonna be the one to revamp the whole thing and like.
No. I still don't believe me at all. Because I'm just one part of it, and it's impossible for one person to be able to do this. It's utterly impossible.
But it took your persistence of believing in the dream, where it's like I kind of like.
I was lost though, Richie. I was lost. I was like, let me get back to after high school and college. I would go every day. Hundreds wasn't open yet. I would go with the little notebook. I still have it, and I had a company called LA Me, lame. I was like, everything is lame. LA me. I was like, I'm lame. LA me. Lame. LA.me. And I fucking made my stencil stickers. So I'd go around with a notebook with little t-shirt designs. I'd go to Crooks. I'd go to Supreme. I'd go to Hundreds. And I would see why people are buying it. Why? What designs? And I noticed the scarcity of it. And that's when I realized the limited edition is how it has to be, you know. Two, I realized the artwork. And I was like, we're in this community. And where it really popped off is that art show. Thank you. So we go with Taylor and them after drum and bass. This is where everything came together before I put that bag together for it. We go to the art show, and Glebo, you've seen him. He draws this shit. He draws.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen this fucking guy, he does it on like skateboards and shit, all different things. He has a brown paper bag, school lunch bag. And we're there with Rotting Fresh, your boys. They have a table set up, and this is when Rotting Fresh was popping, and like they're still popping, but this is like when they first popped on, and I was like, yo, these fools are off the hook. What they were doing, I loved it. This guy comes up with a brown paper bag, and he pulls out a little button pin. He's like, yo, for you. And I was like, whoa, dude. I was like, it made me so happy because I'd done buttons before. They're all trash. Hog shit, amoeba. I was like, I've never seen a writer, artwork, graph. And I was like, yo, it hit my head. I went home that night. I went online, looked at a button machine. I had no money. I begged my mom. I was like, yo, I wrote a contract. I was like, let me borrow money right now. I was like, I'm gonna buy this machine. I was like, I'll have your money back within 3 months. She's like, you're fucking crazy. No. I was like, I promise you, let me get this money. She gave me a card. I bought the machine. Within the first 90 days, the only thing I did was, I knew how this had to work. I was like, I'm a nobody. I just wanted to show my love, and share that happiness that guy gave me. And so I just found people I loved, their artwork that made me happy, and I made them their own fucking buttons. I made fucking Rotting Fresh their own set, a ton of buttons, like all these different designs. I made Crayola, I made all these different people, and they're like, what the fuck? I was like, you just want to show my gratitude, thank you, you inspire me. And
highlighting the different, the most deserving, for the deserving at the time.
Yeah. And even
just gifting them.
Even like people that I wouldn't find myself gifting shit to, like Pandora Blue at the time. She was like a big account, like one of those suicide girls, and like I just didn't understand why she followed us and like liked the shit. But we're a small account. She posted a few times, like got us a bunch of fucking followers. So I made her some. She made a giveaway with those.
So we're already we're in Instagram age now.
This is when I Bobby Dangerously still, and I'm just doing it naturally, I'm Bobby Dangerously.
At what point did we officially like connect?
So Bobby Dangerously starts picking up, and I'm like, I need to make another page, Pizzaboyzzz official, but I don't want to lose this page. So I made a Pizzaboyzzz buttons page, and I opened a Pizzaboyzzz page. And from the day one I opened that page, I fucking documented the following. And this is when Instagram was natural. I really honestly believe if they didn't do the block, the first 12 months, 25.5 thousand followers in 12 months. Each week, we document each 1,000 we'd hit. Some weeks it was 3,000 followers. Year 2, we got 12,000, 13,000. After that, blocked.
This is like 2012, right?
Yeah. So we met. I had been seeing your shit coincidentally through the Flickr cycle, where something along the lines where it had like a link to other photo things, which Tumblr was new. I think that's where it was. For what did you have your shit on early on? It was Tumblr. And so this shit popped out. It was just on a Google search, some shit. And I was like, whoa, I think it was the Biggie popped out. And I was like, what in the fuck is this? And it wasn't even pizza at the time. It was just like the colorful grime, right? And I was like,
I think so.
I was like, what the fuck is this, dude? At the time, I never seen anything like that. People do like icons and like, his death was still like, what was it, like 15 years? I'm not saying he was fresh, but with the older heads still appreciated it more than the younger head. But like, I never seen nothing like it. And then I seen the name, and I looked up the name, or it said Grime maybe it said Grime, Digital Death, and I looked it up, and these other images popped out, like early images. I don't know if it was the fucking Jimi Hendrix, or if it was the fucking early,
all like icons,
colorful fucking images, Kurt Cobain. And that shit fucked my head up. And at that moment, it's like when you see something new, like a new artist, like for some people, like maybe they saw Cause for the first time, they like lost their shit, they'd never seen anything like it. For me, that was that moment. And I didn't know who the fuck this was, I didn't know who the fuck you were, I didn't know where you were from, I didn't know if you were from even the country, or if you were from out of the country. I was just fucking drawn to it. I'd never seen nothing like it, I'd never seen, that was my first introduction to Bride and to your work. It was just a fucking accident, And with Instagram, it had to be somebody sending me your work. It had to be something along the lines of maybe someone tagging me in something pizza related, or coming across it naturally, I don't know. But that was it. I seen it and I was fucking mesmerized, dude. And I naturally...
It was just one of those connections that I actually followed through.
I never knew who you were. I didn't know how to approach you. You were the scariest one, I'd say, to approach, because
Super weird.
You, I had no idea. I had no idea about your background. It was completely out of my comfort zone. It was out of my realm. It wasn't in my jurisdiction where I was used to like the street graffiti and like I knew that world. I didn't know fine art. Like I take an art history. I know all the basics. I love art, but you know, I'm not there yet. I knew that's not where I'm at. So when I saw that, I was like, yo, fuck, dude, this is something new, something insane. And instantly it hit me. I was like, this is something that's groundbreaking. You know, when something hits you, dude, it hits you. It's like seeing something or hearing a song for the first time in a band and you don't know them and you're just like, whoa, what the fuck is this? And you naturally listen to them on your own. And then you have like that fucking, oh, I claim this shit because, I found this on my own, not my friends, and I loved it and it became something amazing. So I was like, yo, what the fuck is this, dude? So I remember just contacting, it's like, yo, I want to share this, or like send you like, yo, I love this shit, I don't know, maybe I could send you something. And that was like when I was doing the Della Deso, Meth Syndicate, Crayola, like I was doing everyone's slaps, practicing my style, like cheese, pizza, and like, I was doing that shit. And I was like, I think you responded, and I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? And then,
Probably like usually my responses are like
I didn't know who you were. I don't know.
Within 35 seconds of somebody sending me something, I'm already on it. Like, what's up?
No. I was like, I didn't know what you looked like, who you were. I didn't know if you were in the country. So this is blind. To me, it's blind every time. Like it's like a blank slate. I'm like, it was exciting, but at the same time, I'm nervous as fuck. I'm like, this fool's like, who the fuck are you? You have no followers. You're nobody, and like you already had a following. And I was like, what the fuck? But it was so sincere and genuine. I was like, whoa. I think that kind of helped my confidence and taught me kind of how to talk to people because you were so reciprocative in how I approached you. And I was like, oh shit, this could be a thing where does he really believe like I'm somebody that's, able to fucking provide this type of shit? And so it gave me that confidence. And after that, I approached everyone as like, we're not one person, and it never was. It was always like, we are. And like back in the day, other guys used to control the Twitter, the Instagram, and like everyone had the password. And I didn't expect to fucking not have time. It became one of those things where, we just started collaborating. And we would just put our artwork out. And pins were never even in the vicinity of anything. I think I saw a pin somewhere and I was like, yo, this is dope. What if we make one for the graph community? And we never seen one in the graph community. I was like, we need one for us. So the fuck the buff pin was the first thing I could think of. It was just that iconic.
Yeah, so it's like right when I started getting stuff, that was like the beginning of it, basically.
Like we had done buttons for a while before that, stickers, custom packages, but nothing.
But even back in the day, it was like very like.
It was all pirate, fucking very.
It was new. It was like shit. Like I was already selling shit too. I was kind of like whatever, and then like I see your packages. I'm like shit. Like I gotta step my game up. Like
so that
the fucking box keeps emptying out. I'm like what the.
So
fuck?
that was I would go to the hundreds and stuff. So that all evolved from this little notebook that you have, and I would write down like what I would get. And when I'd order from there, you wouldn't get shit, but the experience was cool. I'd order online, and I'd get these 3 fucking stickers. So they marketed themselves as fucking yo. You're gonna get this, it's expensive, it's rare, but fucking, you get these 3 stickers. I didn't know what to do with these stickers, bro. It's like skate stuff. I didn't know what to do with these stickers, and it's like, what do you do with them? Do you put them up? Do you save them? So I'd save them. I put them, I have a box still, cigar box with all the original stickers from back in the day, all these companies, extra large, and it made me so happy. And I was like, fuck, dude. What's the best thing other than opening a box and getting something you paid for poor people is something free. And so I was like, if I ever get the opportunity to be in that position, if we're ever in that opportunity, I'm gonna take our bullshit shanty fucking little Pizzaboyzzz or whatever the fuck we are, and people think we're some bullshit fucking graphers or street artists or just not even artists. I wanted to give them that fucking feeling of, hey, whatever we're doing, it means something, and it means something enough that we're going to package this shit right, and we're going to give you an experience. So it was that experience I wanted people to have, that when you open it, from day one, it was that pizza checkered paper, the gold thank you sticker, wrapping it all up. Back in the day, people never had backing cards for pins. They would just take the pins, throw them in the fucking bag, drug baggie, just like that. That was never an option for me. For me, it was an art piece. I'd go on Vistaprint, dog, in the hardest possible way. I would do double-sided, full-color fucking cards, save up all my fucking money, and it cost so much, and I would get quotes. The NBA pins were my fucking babies. So the Kobe, the Jordan, I would find an image for the front, my favorite image, like let's say Jordan jumping in the air, and on the back I would find another fucking iconic image, and I would look up quotes, my favorite quotes, iconic quotes. Like for Kobe's was Chick Hearns. Have you seen it before? Yes, you have. Will you see it again? Time and time again. Da da da. The game is in the refrigerator. So I wanted these things to not just be fucking pieces that we're making, but collectibles. And I wanted you to feel kind of what I felt. And so when you're getting the pin, you're opening it. It's an experience, and it's like Pizzaboyzzz. Yeah, there's these schmucks, but there's these schmucks that are actually
not like for the
boutique style. I always wanted it like boutique style.
But you kind of
we're
found
assholes.
like you found like a little niche and cult following where you can see the core members that they totally understand the whole experience.
Completely.
Like, there's other people that just like it and they just like the cool shit, but there's other handful of people that get it.
Oh, the people that get it, there's to this day the same people that followed us from Bobby Dangerously that became Pizzaboyzzz Buttons that follow us now. I message them still when they message, and I'm like, I'll never forget you guys. You guys molded this. You guys fucking started this with us. And it's these people that understand what it is because they've seen the progression from the beginning, and they've seen.
We'll be walking around somewhere with Bobby, and then from a distance, from a fucking, you'll hear a triumphant squad.
Right. Hey, and
triumphantly, like they're just like proud as fuck. Like,
yes,
you can tell they inhale and just like, all right, squad.
And that's because that's
and
I'm
the
like
family.
scared
of my life, I'm like, they're fucking all like pins up, like their whole vest is all pinned up, and I'm like, you can spot a pizza boy from a mile away.
You know why, man? You know why? They deserve to yell. They deserve to have that confidence. It's
not just boys, too, girls.
Everybody. It doesn't matter who the fuck you're. Dogs too. Fucking. It's because other people. You know, it's companies. You know, we're not. I don't consider us a company. A lot of people, it looks like a company, a business, yada yada. But that's the thing. I don't consider it that. I just consider a group of homies. Fucking, we're creating. We don't know when it's gonna stop, but we're creating for a bigger purpose. It's something we can't stop. It's just ingrained in us. But the thing is, it's most of these companies. Again, I use that word. They look for the praise. You know, they pride themselves on getting the likes, the comments, the praises, this and that. Where the difference, I feel like, between us and a lot of these other fucking entities, businesses, companies is, we're not empowered by that praise. We're empowered by empowering the crew that fucking supports us, because it's that old poor boy mentality is we only have each other and we're just as strong as one another. And I've messaged hundreds of people the same, all for one, one for all. There is no us without you. And that's how it is, you know? It's because the way they scream and they yell proudly is because they are Pizzaboyzzz themselves. You know, they grew up with us, they came up with us, and they always ask, how do I become one? I'm like, you're already part of it if you're asking. You know, if you've been following and you support, it's a movement.
They're more involved than you are.
You know, they are.
They're more invested.
They are.
They're the ones keeping you alive.
They keep it alive.
They're the blood source.
You know, it's like there's only so much you could do. There's only so much you could put out.
They're the fresh oxygen in your heart, you know?
Like, the more they scream, the more they believe, the more we believe, the more
it makes it real.
Yeah.